Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief Show. Today, we have a fascinating mix of stories for you. First, let's dive into the world of finance, where Asian shares are showing mixed results. Tokyo's Nikkei 225 saw a significant rebound, gaining 2.2% in morning trading. However, Hong Kong stocks are lagging behind, with losses in tech giants like Meituan and Li Auto. Meanwhile, oil prices are on the rise due to escalating tensions in the Middle East, boosting stocks in CNOOC, PetroChina, and Sinopec. Stay tuned for more market insights. Next, we shift our focus to some intriguing individual stories. Ceci Lee, the Hong Kong cycling star, is setting her sights on the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics after a tough run in Paris. In the tech world, Hongxia, a leading AI scientist, is aiming to democratize the development of large language models, making it more accessible to smaller firms and university labs. And on a more somber note, the issue of illegal gambling among Hong Kong's elderly has come under scrutiny following the arrest of a 90-year-old man. Finally, we have some lighter, yet equally captivating stories. Shanghai's INS complex is drawing in young crowds with its all-inclusive party experience, combining an esports arena with nightclubs and restaurants. Over in Hong Kong, actor Karl Ting is delving into personal identity and societal pressures through his art exhibition. And in a bid to improve their reputation, Hong Kong taxi drivers are getting a politeness makeover with the help of courtesy ambassadors. Please stay tuned for detailed coverage of these stories and more. Associated Press Asian shares traded mixed on Tuesday, with Japan's Nikkei 225 rebounding 2.2% to 35,782.68 after a significant plunge last week. Australia's S&P ASX 200 rose slightly by 0.1% to 7,821.60, while South Korea's Kospi fell 0.3% to 2,610.17. Hong Kong's Hang Seng and the Shanghai Composite remained mostly unchanged. Tokyo's tech sector, led by Tokyo Electron's 5.4% surge, showed strong performance. Investors were optimistic as the yen's volatility seemed to stabilize, despite its weakening impact on purchasing power. The US dollar rose to 147.30 yen, and the euro remained steady at $1.0936. Global geopolitical tensions and economic uncertainties, including those in Ukraine and the Middle East, continue to influence market behavior. Wall Street had a quiet trading day, with the S&P 500 ending almost unchanged. Investors are awaiting crucial U.S. inflation and retail sales data, which could impact Federal Reserve decisions on interest rates. Japan's central bank is also focused on igniting inflation, contrasting the U.S. Federal Reserve's efforts to curb it. Guardian in November 2016, amidst political turbulence following Donald Trump's election, Tim Walz, a congressperson from Minnesota, stood out for his heartfelt support for Hong Kong's democracy during a briefing with activist Joshua Wong. Walz, recently announced as Kamala Harris's running mate, has a deep history with China, having taught English in Guangdong in 1989 during the Tiananmen Square massacre. His decision to stay in China despite the turmoil was driven by a belief in people-to-people diplomacy. Walz's time in China left a lasting impression on his students and colleagues, who remembered him for his warmth and dedication. Back in the U.S., Walz continued to foster understanding of China through educational trips. His commitment to human rights, including his early condemnation of abuses in Xinjiang and Tibet, contrasts sharply with Republican attempts to label him as pro-Beijing. Walz's nuanced understanding of China, shaped by personal experience, could influence U.S. foreign policy, though the extent of his role in a potential Harris administration remains to be seen. South China Morning Post: Hong Kong stocks struggled to maintain gains amid a regional recovery, with the Hang Seng Index slipping 0.2% to 17,083.33, breaking a four-day winning streak. While Tencent saw a 1.1% rise on optimistic earnings expectations, other tech and electric vehicle stocks like Li Auto and BYD faced declines. Meituan and NetEase also saw drops of 1.5% and 1.1%, respectively. Oil companies like CNOOC, PetroChina, and Sinopec benefited from rising oil prices due to Middle East conflict fears. Analysts at Ping An Securities noted that the Hong Kong market's volatility could lead to profit-taking, emphasizing the need for a stronger recovery in mainland China's economy. Major Asian markets, including Japan's Nikkei 225 and Australia's S&P ASX 200, continued to recover from last week's sell-off, showing modest gains. South China Morning Post: imagine a high-end hotel in a top-tier Chinese city winning numerous awards and accolades, only to close its doors after 16 years. This was the fate of the Opposite House, a luxury lifestyle hotel in Beijing, which succumbed to the harsh realities of financial performance, competition from online platforms, and evolving tourism demands. The hotel, which opened before the 2008 Beijing Olympics, was a project managed by Dennis Lee, who reflects on the substantial energy and resources invested. Hong Kong faces similar challenges in its hospitality sector, with luxury hotels experiencing only a 54% occupancy rate despite an overall average of 80%. To attract high spenders and offer unique experiences, Hong Kong must leverage its strengths and create a synergistic ecosystem. Mega events like the Hong Kong Sevens should be the benchmark, and officials need to collaborate with industry leaders to develop innovative strategies. South China Morning Post: Hong Kong cycling star Ceci Lee is being backed by her coaches despite a disappointing performance at the Paris 2024 Olympics. Lee, who finished 20th out of 22 riders in the Omnium, struggled tactically and emotionally, admitting to feeling lost during the competition. Her coach, Hervé Degorn, remains optimistic about her potential, emphasizing the need to work on her strategy, technique, and psychological aspects over the next 4 years leading up to the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Lee, a Tier A athlete at the Hong Kong Sports Institute, has access to comprehensive resources and a monthly wage, which Degorn believes will aid in her development. Despite her recent struggles, Degorn is committed to helping Lee reach her full potential, highlighting the importance of perseverance and a step-by-step approach to long-term progression. South China Morning Post: mainland Chinese artificial intelligence scientist Yang Hongxia, now a professor at Hong Kong Polytechnic University, PolyU, aims to revolutionize the development of large language models, LLMs, from her base in the city. Yang, who has worked on AI models at ByteDance and Alibaba's Demo Academy, proposes a decentralized, machine learning paradigm to reduce the resource-intensive process of training LLMs. She envisions a model-over-models approach, where smaller models are trained across specific domains and then evolved into a comprehensive foundation model. This method could democratize LLM development, making it accessible to university labs and small firms. Yang's team has already shown that small AI models can outperform advanced LLMs in specific domains. She believes Hong Kong's dynamic atmosphere and access to AI talent make it an ideal place for this research, which could significantly contribute to the city's goal of becoming an innovation and technology hub. South China Morning Post: loneliness is driving some elderly Hong Kongers into illegal gambling, as highlighted by the recent arrest of a 90-year-old man and 8 others in Tsuen Wan. Experts like Augusta Yim Tingling from Zion Social Service and criminologist Eric Chui Winghong suggest that the elderly, often isolated after retirement, turn to gambling for social interaction. Many seniors find the activities at elderly centers unappealing and prefer the excitement and companionship of betting branches or gambling groups. The neutral cultural perception of gambling and a lack of awareness about the legality of their activities contribute to this trend. Despite the increasing number of arrests for serious gambling offenses among those aged 60 or above, the elderly often believe they won't face severe consequences due to their age. South China Morning Post. Shanghai's INS Complex, a 20,000 square meter venue combining an esports arena with 6 nightclubs, restaurants, and a comedy club, is attracting throngs of young locals and tourists. Founded by Dinoing Shuling, the complex offers an all-in-price experience reminiscent of international music festivals, making it a hit despite economic downturns. With a single entry fee of 288 yuan, $40, visitors can access all clubs and enjoy included drinks, providing a stress-free and budget-friendly night out. The concept has resonated well, drawing thousands each night and even local celebrities like Jackson Wang. Ing plans to expand this model to Chengdu, aiming to create an inclusive and enjoyable nightlife experience. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong TVB actor Karl Ting delves into themes of identity, love, and societal pressure in his art exhibition Who Are You? At 13A, New Street Art Gallery. Using painting as a form of self-exploration and therapy, Ting tackles the harsh criticism he faced for his public image, such as internet trolls attacking his appearance. His works, like Needle and Pinky Promise, reflect on the power of words and the innocence of childhood gestures. Ting's art also addresses the pressures from Asian parents and the importance of self-discovery, illustrated in pieces like Teddy and the Chair. Love is a central theme, depicted through the metaphor of honey in several paintings, reminding viewers of its sweetness and fragility. BBC, business owner Louis Ho recalls the numerous times Hong Kong taxi drivers refused to take him and his wheelchair-bound mother to hospital for routine checkups. This sentiment is echoed by many Hong Kongers who have faced rude, dishonest, and unaccommodating cabbies. The Hong Kong Taxi Council aims to change this negative image by deploying courtesy ambassadors at taxi stands, but skepticism remains. IT worker Kenny Tong, for instance, finds the process of hailing a cab so frustrating that he only uses them sparingly. The taxi industry also grapples with high costs, competition from Uber, and a capped number of licenses, leading to a lack of new drivers and rising rental fees for existing ones. With reforms like a demerit point system and a taxi fleet system on the horizon, the industry hopes to see improvements, but both drivers and passengers are cautiously waiting to see if these changes will take hold. South China Morning Post, ESPN's 30 for 30 podcast series, an offshoot of its acclaimed sports documentaries, delves into compelling stories that go beyond the playing field. The podcast, launched in 2017, offers deep dives into sports history and societal issues, akin to its film counterparts. Episodes like The Loophole, which chronicles Hideo Nomo's fight to become the first Japanese Major League Baseball player in 30 years, and Pink Card, narrating the struggles of female Iranian football fans, highlight the series' broad scope. Other standout episodes include Be Water, exploring Bruce Lee's battle against social injustice, and Bloodlines, investigating the breeding practices of Kentucky's racehorses. The podcast has not only sustained but expanded the 30 for 30 brand's reputation for insightful storytelling, making it a must-listen for sports enthusiasts and those interested in the larger societal impacts of sports. SCMP opinion: Hong Kong's courtrooms have become unexpected tourist attractions, drawing visitors curious about the city's legal system and its one country, two systems framework. The colonial-style Court of Final Appeal, built in 1912, is particularly popular. However, visitors need to adhere to strict courtroom etiquette to avoid disrupting proceedings. Incidents like a mainland tourist being jailed for taking photos highlight the importance of following the rules. The judiciary could take cues from Britain's Supreme Court, which uses social media to promote its tours and exhibitions. While maintaining the dignity of the courts is paramount, embracing the principle of open justice and welcoming tourists can enhance public understanding and appreciation of Hong Kong's legal system. South China Morning Post. Jonas Harmer, the supportive husband of former Olympian Michaela Skinner, has stood by her through thick and thin, especially during her public feud with fellow gymnast Simone Biles. Skinner faced severe backlash after posting a YouTube video criticizing Biles and the USA Olympics team, which led to hate comments and even death threats. Biles responded with a pointed Instagram post celebrating her team's gold medal win, seemingly addressing Skinner's remarks. Skinner later issued a heartfelt apology on Instagram, acknowledging her mistakes and expressing her admiration for her former teammates. Jonas Harmer, a sales specialist and a three-time competitor on American Ninja Warrior, supported Skinner through the ordeal, praising her for her courage. The couple, who married in 2019, recently welcomed their first child, Charlotte Jane Harmer. Harmer, who also hosts a true crime podcast, Safely to the Moon, continues to be a steadfast partner to Skinner. SCMP Opinion. The recent Olympic Games in Paris were a resounding success, showcasing athletic prowess and fostering a spirit of unity. The event began with athletes arriving by boat and concluded with Hollywood star Tom Cruise sending the Olympic flag on its way to Los Angeles. Hong Kong celebrated its athletes' achievements, with fencers Vivian Kong Man Wai and Chung Ka-long, and swimmer Siobhan Ha-hee earning medals. The Games highlighted the importance of investment in sports to nurture future talent. China's impressive performance, matching the U.S. with 40 gold medals, was led by young athletes like swimmer Pan Zhanle and diver Quan Hongchan. Despite initial concerns about security, the Paris Games were marked by record ticket sales and a vibrant atmosphere. The International Olympic Committee emphasized the need to keep politics out of sports, advocating for fair competition and unity. The camaraderie among athletes from over 200 countries was a testament to the Olympic spirit, offering hope for a more peaceful world. The Globe and Mail. Retired RCMP officer William Matcher, charged with conducting foreign interference on behalf of China, successfully had his case moved from Quebec to Vancouver. Matcher's lawyers argued that the charges should have been filed in British Columbia or Ontario, as he was not alleged to have committed any offences in Quebec. A Quebec Superior Court judge agreed, leading to the refiled charges in Vancouver. Matcher is accused of using his Canadian contacts to benefit China, with alleged crimes occurring in Vancouver, Toronto, Hong Kong, and other locations. The RCMP's investigation, based in Montreal, linked Matcher to efforts by China's Ministry of Public Security to target dissidents. The case, now in Vancouver, poses challenges for the Crown due to the heavy workloads of local prosecutors. Matcher, who maintains his innocence, is set for a new bail hearing. The case underscores the complexities of addressing foreign interference and the legal intricacies involved in such prosecutions. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
got a question in your mind, we'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything, laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too, we've got the A to Z for you. Got a question in your mind, we'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything, laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups